Hey guys, Aaron Farmer here with mysugarfreejourney.com, and I want to tell you about a new paper that was just released by the National Bureau of Economic Research that calculated that the Social Security Administration has saved $200 billion with the excess deaths from COVID. Sounds like a great deal, right? So the paper calculates that there were 1.4 million excess deaths as of January 23, reducing future outlays by $205 billion, primarily by reducing future benefits paid out. It determined that there were about 1.3 million excess deaths, primarily from men, blacks, Hispanics, and the older age groups. So what's surprising to me is they included a graph in this paper, and the amount of excess deaths in 2020, when the virus was at its most deadly, and the amount of deaths in 21, when full scale vaccination efforts were in place, are roughly equal to my eye. In fact, there was a drop in excess deaths in the second quarter of 2021 when that vaccine was first getting rolled out, because you remember there was a time period of about 60 days when the vaccine worked really, really well. But then the COVID deaths went right back up to pre-vaccination levels, or 2020 levels, immediately after that. I would have expected that if the vaccine were as effective as we were told, the drop off in deaths at that time would have been far more substantial, but that's not what we see. So it's a little worrying to me that now there is proof that a widespread pandemic is a fantastic way for the government to save money. It's a little reminiscent if you remember the old movie Logan's Run, where they killed people off once they turned 30 because it was just better for society that there weren't any old people. But now it looks like, if we waited until they're 65 and kill them off, we can really save the Social Security Administration quite a bit of money on those retirement benefits. So instead of conspiracy theories, which are always fun and have been proven to be right with alarming regularity as of late, let's review some of the things that COVID taught us about how to protect ourselves. First thing it taught us is that high blood sugar kills. It was no accident that Americans were far more susceptible to COVID than other countries. Our type 2 diabetes rates are absolutely off the charts. The rates of prediabetes are even worse. It looks like the people with the worst control of their blood sugar, like diabetics and the elderly, were the ones that were most at risk of the virus. Fix for this is super simple. Stop eating foods that raise your blood sugar and start putting on as much muscle as you can, because muscle is like the dumping ground for sugar. The more muscle you have, the more places that your body can put sugar to burn it off. There's also medication like metformin that you can take to control your blood sugar levels, but I haven't seen any data that suggested that people that were on metformin had a lower death rate from COVID, but still, metformin, helps control your blood sugar. Number two, monitor your vitamin D levels. We learned very early on in the pandemic that the death rate from COVID was inversely correlated with the vitamin D levels. Again, super simple fix. You can either take a vitamin D supplement or commit to spending more time in the sun. And I know you've been told to be afraid of the sun because it causes cancer, but that does not appear to be actually true. It doesn't take much, 15 to 20 minutes a day of sunlight on as much exposed skin as you can manage. Real simple fix. And the number three thing that we learned is don't be frail. There's nothing you can do about your age, but there's no reason that you have to become fragile and frail as you age. This is about eating plenty of healthy foods, especially protein, especially lean protein. Your body uses that lean protein to maintain your muscle. Um, and you want to keep as much muscle as you can as you age. We lose about 1% of muscle per year past 35 years old, so our biology is working against us. It takes the effort of a regular daily or weekly exercise routine to keep your strength where it needs to be. I would also include stretching, as it also protects from injury, and injury typically causes muscle wasting to speed up. But COVID is over, right? Well, maybe, but who knows what tomorrow's going to bring. This whole experience has really opened my eyes to a lot of things I didn't know about. I would never have imagined our government would be funding labs whose entire job is to make viruses capable of killing us, but here we are. I can't unlearn that. And this report shows a possible financial incentive for killing off the oldest among us. I can't unlearn that either. Our only chance is to take control of as many of the variables as we can, and the biggest one is our personal health and the health of our families. I hope that you read this post or watch this video and read my blog and put as many of these ideas as you can into action. Again, super simple things that you can do to lower your risk of death from all causes. Have you already started doing that? What changes have you seen in your health? I would love to know in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys, for listening. This is Aaron again with mysugarfreejourney.com. Bye-bye.